What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So a few weeks back, Kim Ye and I made our way to Baldwin City, Kansas for the Maple Leaf Gravel Grind. This was my 5th year attending this event, and I absolutely love it. This is an event that I look forward to every year. They have routes of 16, 40, and 70 miles. I was doing the 70-mile route today, and Kim was doing the 40, so there is something for everyone. The swag bag for this event is always great. You get a t-shirt, they had some Element drink mix in there, and then every year at this race you get this custom glass with a beer ticket in it, and then afterwards you can use that beer ticket and take your glass to Baldwin City Beer Co. and get a free beer. So just really nice swag bag. And probably the best thing about this event is that the proceeds from the event are split between the Prairie Paws Animal Shelter and the Baldwin City Recreation Commission Scholarship Fund. So I'm an animal lover, and I'm always down to support some animals and finding animals great homes. Anyone who did this event last year knows how bad the conditions were. It was really cold. It was like pouring down rain for the last 20 miles. And that was actually the first event that I have not finished. It was my first DNF ever. I was like freezing, and I kind of just said, screw it. I felt like I was about to be hypothermic. This year, the conditions were much better. It was a little bit cool to start the day, but not bad. It was full sun. It wasn't crazy wind. So just really nice conditions for a race.
January, up before dawn, down to the Knox mine we've been digging on. No other light but the lamp on my head.
As the race started, everybody kind of was bunched together, and then obviously you get the lead group that kind of takes off. And I've kind of taken on this new approach for these races, like, hey, I'm just going to start out, ride at my pace, find a little group, and then if I'm feeling good, I'll try to push it. So that's kind of what I did. I ended up riding for a bit with this group here. We had the homie Todd, who I seem to always find myself riding with at these races. We're kind of similar, I guess, fitness-wise, and Todd's like 62 years old. I could not believe that. I had no idea he was that old. There was this guy from Oklahoma who was pretty strong, so we rode together for a bit.
I wound up dead, but there's bills to pay. It's due today, so I'll take my chances this time. Breaking my back, $5 a day, and the company's...
Then eventually I got on with this group of 3 here that included Kurt Wilson and Lynn Wilson. They are incredibly strong, so rode behind them for a big part of the day. Shout out to Kurt and Lynn for letting me kind of tag on and sit on your guys' wheels. But the first part of this course is kind of in some open farmland area. It's kind of like an out and back on part, and really scenic. And then as you kind of get more into the course, you kind of get into some more tree cover type areas that are really pretty. But overall, just a really beautiful area to ride bikes.
Mr. Coldbound sits up on the hill and the
Finally got some tailwind, huh?
Pockets to fill, and we're underground, 300 feet down, and it feels like we're doing now. Don't go down the mine. Heed the words that I tell you. It'll cost you your life, and it's damp and dark too. The river is wide, and it gets up.
My total distance for this event was 69.45 miles with 3,714 feet of elevation. And there are some good climbs on this route. There's not a ton of them, but the ones that they do have are pretty steep. And this one here, this is a really pretty climb that gets pretty steep. And then this is where one of the SAG stations is set up. So big shout out to all the people who help with this race. The SAG is great. They had like pickle juice and Gatorade. And there's also a porta potty at the SAG. So if you need to go to the bathroom, they've got that there. So just thank you to all the volunteers and the people that help with this. It really does mean a lot. And everyone at this event, everyone that's involved with this event is just super kind. So I appreciate that. And I got to say, another thing that really makes this event special is the fact that it happens in late October, and there's so much beautiful tree foliage in this area, and it's called the Maple Leaf Gravel Grind, so that's kind of fitting because of all the different leaves on the trees that are changing color, and definitely an event that Kim and I look forward to going to every year.
Each hammer strike, don't go down the mines. Heard people talking.
Here towards the end of the day, you kind of get put on this short stretch of pavement, and I was just kind of chilling, and then all of a sudden Kurt and Lynn, they passed me, so I had kind of left them at the aid station, and then they caught back up to me, so then I found myself riding their wheel again, and then finally with about 2 miles out, I kicked and just tried to finish as strong as I could. I was really stoked about my day. Ended up 69.45 total miles. My moving time on Strava was 4 hours, 1 minute, and 4 seconds. Average speed of 17.3. Elevation 3,714 feet and 3,000 total calories burned. And I always like looking at my heart rate after these big effort days. My average heart rate was 147 beats per minute, and my max was 176 beats. As far as where I stacked up and how I finished, I ended up 12th overall, so pretty happy about that. But there was a total of 69 total participants, so being 12th overall, I'm pumped about that. I've said it before, I don't sign up to do these races to win these races. I sign up and I go hard to really just compete against myself. But shout out to the guys who are there to compete and win these events. I mean, these guys are freaking studs. How fast these dudes are able to go on their bikes is really, really impressive. I know how hard I push when I'm at these events. And, William Hinkhouse, he was the guy who won the event. He did it in 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 35 seconds. So, I mean, he beat me by more than 30 minutes, which really, over the course of 70 miles, that's like a lot of time. Here's Kim Ye rolling through the finish. Kim did the 40-mile route, and she hadn't really been riding that much. So I was really, really proud of her for finishing because there was some headwinds. There was some big climbs. So I was stoked that she persevered and super, super proud. But another thing that's really cool about this event is that at the finish, they are setting up for their fall festival. So they host this event on the same weekend as their annual fall festival, and it's very cool. They've got vendors set up with like different breweries that are there where you can buy tokens and get beer, and they have food trucks. And then after the event, you've got to make your way down to Baldwin City Beer Co. Guys, I am telling you, the food here is unbelievable. The beer is amazing. The atmosphere after the event is great. They've got TVs playing football. The last 2 years, I have gotten the pretzels with the beer cheese. Amazing. I've also gotten a chicken sandwich each of the last 2 years. Fantastic. Kim got the chicken wrap. It was very, very good. So I cannot recommend Baldwin City Beer Co. enough. But guys, I also want to say Prairie Paws Animal Shelter. If you are in the market for a pet, I would highly suggest and recommend adopting. There are tons of pets out there at animal shelters that need good homes, that are great pets. I will link Prairie Paws in the description of this video. I will link Maple Leaf Gravel Grind in the description of the video. As always, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not hit the subscribe button yet, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep crushing it.